Oh, hide me! I'm being chased by 3 bears. There's a dispute over some porridge. Don't ask questions.
Remember that brilliant animated show about a cynical film critic that got canceled twice in 2 years? The Critic wasn't just a clever satire that networks didn't understand. It was a backstage nightmare of creative sabotage, network warfare, and personal vendettas that destroyed careers,
You hormone-fed buzzard!
and proved Hollywood eats its own children alive. 20. The Simpsons Betrayal setup. The Critic premiered with a Simpsons crossover episode that was supposed to launch the show into success.
Mr. Sherman, I understand you have 2 Pulitzer Prizes.
But Matt Groening publicly attacked it before it even aired, calling it a 30-minute advertisement, and demanding his name be removed from credits James L. Brooks and Al Jean had created The Critic.
You were born to nitpick what others poured their hearts and souls into.
And Groening saw it as competition for resources and attention. He used The Simpsons' massive cultural power to undermine his own colleagues' show before it had a chance. This wasn't creative disagreement. It was deliberate career assassination disguised as artistic integrity concerns. 19. The 2-network death sentence. The Critic lasted only 13 episodes on ABC before cancellation, got picked up by Fox for 10 more episodes, then was canceled again.
On ABC, we go, we love it, and after 7 shows, they canceled it. And then it went to...
making it one of the few shows rejected by 2 major networks in under 2 years. ABC buried it in the worst possible time slot against NBC's powerhouse lineup, guaranteeing failure. Fox briefly pretended to care, then dumped it mid-season with 0 promotion or support. The show was designed to fail twice, with networks using it as a tax write-off, while creators watched their work deliberately destroyed by corporate indifference and scheduling sabotage. 18. The voice actor's impossible schedule. John Lovitz voiced Jay Sherman while juggling Saturday Night Live, multiple film shoots, and stand-up comedy tours, leading to recording sessions at 3 a.m. between flights and shoots. The production schedule was so brutal that some episodes featured Lovitz recording his lines over phone connections from hotel rooms with terrible audio quality. He developed chronic laryngitis from the workload and later admitted he couldn't remember recording entire episodes due to exhaustion. The show demanded feature film quality vocal performances on a television budget and timeline, which meant systematically destroying their lead actor's voice and sanity for profit. 17. The animation outsourcing disaster. The Critic outsourced animation to South Korean studio AKOM, the same company that ruined early Simpsons episodes with continuity errors and missing scenes. AKOM lost entire completed episodes at least 3 times, requiring expensive and rushed reanimation that destroyed the production budget. Character designs would randomly change between scenes, backgrounds would disappear, and entire sequences arrived unusable, requiring domestic animators to fix them overnight. The studio blamed shipping accidents and cultural misunderstandings, but industry insiders knew AKOM was taking on more work than they could handle and delivering garbage to American shows while prioritizing better-paying projects. 16. The movie parody legal nightmare. Every single episode required extensive legal review because the show parodied real films, and major studios threatened lawsuits constantly, despite parody being protected. Speech Disney, Warner Bros., and Paramount all sent cease and desist letters trying to prevent episodes from airing that mocked their films. Legal costs for clearances and defense consumed nearly 30% of the production budget. The irony was that The Critic was celebrating film culture while the film industry tried to legally destroy it. Hollywood proved it can't take a joke about itself, even when the joke comes from people who genuinely love movies. 15. The ratings manipulation conspiracy. Industry analysts discovered that ABC scheduled The Critic against the highest-rated programs on television, Home Improvement, Seinfeld, and Mad About You, guaranteeing catastrophic ratings that justified cancellation. Internal memos later revealed executives wanted the show to fail because it came from the Simpsons production team that ABC had previously rejected. The network was using The Critic as revenge against James L. Brooks for choosing Fox over ABC years earlier. They paid millions for a show they intentionally murdered through scheduling warfare, proving network executives care more about personal vendettas than actual entertainment or profit. 14. The creator burnout breakdown. Al Jean and Mike Rice created The Critic after leaving The Simpsons as showrunners due to complete creative burnout and conflicts with Matt Groening's increasing control demands. They poured their exhaustion and industry frustration into Jay Sherman, making him an autobiographical character representing their own disillusionment with Hollywood. The show was supposed to be their escape from Simpsons drama, but instead became a worse nightmare involving 2 network cancellations and professional betrayal. They went from one toxic workplace to creating their own even more toxic situation, proving you can't escape Hollywood dysfunction by making shows about Hollywood dysfunction. 13. The guest star extortion system. Every celebrity guest star demanded script approval and extensive rewrites to ensure they weren't portrayed negatively, defeating the entire purpose of a satirical show about film criticism. Arnold Schwarzenegger's people demanded 7 script revisions before approving his parody appearance. Orson Welles' estate threatened to sue over a gentle parody, despite Welles being dead. The show spent more money on guest star legal negotiations than on actual animation. Hollywood celebrities proved they're happy to appear on satirical shows as long as the satire never actually applies to them personally or questions their importance. 12. The critical ad revenue collapse. Major advertisers withdrew sponsorship from The Critic because they feared movie studios would retaliate by pulling ads from their other programs, creating a financial death spiral. Disney and Warner Bros. Both contacted networks advertising on the show, warning them about potential conflicts of interest if they continued supporting programming that mocked Hollywood. The show lost over $2 million in ad revenue in its first season alone due to studio intimidation tactics. Your Saturday night cartoon was destroyed by corporate threats and financial warfare that had nothing to do with quality or audience interest, just pure industry power games. 11. The Fox bait and switch betrayal. Fox executives personally courted The Critic after ABC's cancellation, promising prime placement, extensive promotion, and full creative support that never materialized once contracts were signed. The show was dumped into Sunday nights at 9:30 p.m., given zero advertising, and frequently preempted for sports with no notice to viewers. Fox used the show purely to spite ABC and claim The Simpsons creators, then discarded it once that petty victory was achieved. 10. The Critic's curse. On careers. Several staff writers and key animators from The Critic were essentially blacklisted from major animation projects after the show's double cancellation, with studios viewing them as difficult or uncommercial despite their talent. Producer Mike Rice later revealed that agents told writers their involvement with The Critic was toxic on resumes because it suggested they'd create content that mocked potential clients. 3 animation directors from the show never got another television directing job. 9. The stolen idea epidemic. Within months of cancellation, The Critic's distinctive jokes, parody concepts, and satirical structures appeared in Family Guy, The Simpsons, and other animated shows without credit or compensation. Seth MacFarlane has admitted Family Guy borrowed The Critic's rapid-fire pop culture parody style, but never credited the influence or paid licensing. Over 40 specific joke structures from The Critic appeared in other shows between 1995 and 2000. The show was too good to survive but valuable enough to steal from, with other creators cannibalizing its innovations while watching it die. Your favorite animated comedies built their success on the corpse of a show network murderer. 8. The voice cast. Salary scandal. Despite being created by Simpsons showrunners with similar production values and featuring expensive celebrity guests, The Critic voice actors were paid approximately 60% less than Simpsons cast members for comparable work. John Lovitz made $15,000 per episode, while Dan Castellaneta was making $30,000 for The Simpsons during the same period.
A movie I didn't think they should have made in the first place. And by God!
The pay disparity was intentional. Networks knew the show would be canceled and refused to invest in fair compensation. 7. The demographic death wish. The Critic was specifically written for adults with sophisticated film knowledge and cultural references, but ABC scheduled it during family hour and demanded it be kid-friendly enough to sell toys. This created an impossible creative paradox where the show was too smart for its time slot but too adult for merchandising, guaranteeing commercial failure. Networks wanted Simpsons' success without understanding. The Simpsons worked because Fox let it be genuinely subversive. 6. The internet fan campaign Betrayal. After the second cancellation, fans organized one of the early internet's first major Save Our Show campaigns, sending over 10,000 physical letters to Fox executives demanding renewal. The network never responded to a single letter and later claimed they received minimal viewer interest when explaining the cancellation to the media. Internal documents revealed executives never even read the letters, having already decided cancellation before the campaign began. 5. The merchandise that never existed. Multiple toy companies signed merchandise deals based on pitch materials and early episodes, then canceled contracts after actually watching the show and realizing it was too sophisticated for children's toy marketing. Kenner backed out of a $3 million action figure deal 3 weeks before production. A planned video game was canceled when developers realized the show's humor didn't translate to gameplay. The show was designed to be unmerchandisable, which networks claim to want, until they realize unmerchandisable means unprofitable. 4. The Emmy nomination conspiracy. The Critic received an Emmy nomination for Outstanding Animated Program in 1995, but lost to The Simpsons in what industry insiders called obvious vote manipulation. Favoring the more commercially successful show, voting records showed The Simpsons episode that won was considered weaker than the Critic's nominated work by actual animation professionals. Matt Groening's public attacks on the Critic influenced Academy voters who didn't want to appear to support the wrong side of a creative dispute. 3. The webisode Exploitation scandal. In 2000, The Critic was revived for 10 internet webisodes, where creators Al Jean and Mike Rice worked entirely for free, receiving zero payment while the website sold advertising against their content. Voice actors worked for minimum payments or free because they loved the show, while the website, Atom Films, made millions in ad revenue and investor money. When Atom Films was sold to Comedy Central for $20 million in 2005, none of the creators or cast received any compensation from the sale. 2. The creators' public admission of failure. In multiple interviews between 2005 to 2010, creator Al Jean publicly stated that creating The Critic was the biggest mistake of my career, and that he should have stayed with The Simpsons instead of believing he could succeed independently. He revealed the show caused a permanent rift with Matt Groening that damaged both their careers and friendships for over 15 years. The experience was so traumatic that Mike Rice needed therapy for depression after the double cancellation. 1. The Simpsons connection death sentence. The fundamental reason The Critic failed wasn't quality or audience. It failed because it came from Simpsons writers, making it a threat to The Simpsons' cultural dominance that had to be eliminated. Matt Groening's public opposition signaled to Fox and the industry that supporting The Critic meant opposing Groening's empire. Networks chose protecting their most valuable property over giving a brilliant new show a fair chance. From Groening's betrayal to double cancellations, The Critic proved Hollywood destroys what it fears. Your favorite show died protecting someone else's empire. Subscribe for more childhood-destroying facts.